You join me today for an efficiency test between Hyundai Kia Group's least efficient EV and Hyundai Kia Group's most efficient EV, namely the Kia EV9 GT line all-wheel drive and my brand new 2024 Hyundai Ioniq 6 SE rear-wheel drive. So what we're going to do today, we're going to go out on the highway, we're going to do my normal course, and we should see an average speed of about 70 miles per hour, which for around here in a densely populated area is about the best you're going to do averaging over an extended period. We're going to have climate control set to 72 degrees on auto level 1. Both cars are going to be set to eco mode so that they are rear-wheel drive biased on the highway. In the case of the EV9, it will use its clutch to disconnect the front motor. The SE rear-wheel drive is obviously only a rear-wheel drive car to begin with, so it's not going to do anything there. But it's a beautiful day out. It's about 60 degrees, not a whole lot of wind. There's going to be some traffic on the route. I've already looked at the map. I can't do anything about that, but we're just comparing apples to apples, so it doesn't really matter what the average speed is in total, as long as it's close to what you would see on the highway overall. It's about a 50-mile loop, and it should take around 40 minutes. So we'll come back, we'll take a look at it. So let's head out on the highway, and we'll see what we get. All right, we're back. We finished. There was some construction on the highway which slowed both routes down. It didn't clear between drives. We're doing this at the exact same time. Same day, same weather conditions. Everything should be more or less the same between the two cars. So comparing the temperatures at the beginning of the drive and the end of the drive, they both worked out to be about 60.5 degrees Fahrenheit. So a nice, decently warm temperature for the battery to be at. Now at the halfway point of the drive, in the Ioniq 6, we were averaging 3.3 miles per kilowatt hour. The EV9 GT, 2.5 miles per kilowatt hour, which is honestly better than I was expecting. Now, I will say the drive out from where I live is more or less uphill, and then coming back, you usually see gains in efficiency because you're losing elevation and there's some more coasting involved. So historically, I've always seen better efficiency on the way back versus on the way out. And both cars did that distance out in 19 minutes. All right, so at the end of the drive, what did we get? So with the Ioniq 6, we saw 3.7 miles per kilowatt hour. And for the EV9 all-wheel drive GT line, 2.6 miles per kilowatt hour. The Ioniq 6 drive was just a little bit longer because there was a little bit more backed up traffic due to that construction. So total time was 42 minutes versus in the EV9, 41 minutes. There's also a discrepancy between the odometers with these two vehicles. So in the EV9, it says I did 48.3 miles, and in the Ioniq 6, it says 48 miles. So something's going on there. Now, when you calculate the average speed, in the Ioniq 6, 69 miles per hour, in the EV9, 71 miles per hour. Now, when you multiply that efficiency by the total battery capacity for the Ioniq 6, which has a battery capacity of 77.4 kilowatt hours, times that 3.7 miles per kilowatt hour, we are talking a total highway range of 286 miles. That is fantastic. Granted, it's warm out, but even in the wintertime, you should still be well over 200 miles of range at these speeds. Far cry from my Ioniq 5 at these speeds. On average, on the highway, I can usually get maybe 230, 240 if I'm being really conservative. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to doing some highway driving with the Ioniq 6. It's just going to give us that little bit more distance that in this area of the country, going up into the White Mountains, up into Vermont, there's not a whole lot of chargers out there, so having a little bit of range is a big deal. Now for the EV9 with its bigger, almost 100 kilowatt hour battery pack. It is 99.8 kilowatt hours. Multiplied that by 2.6 miles per kilowatt hour gives us a total highway range of about 259 miles. So that is a respectable number. I can't really complain about that considering just how big and boxy this vehicle is. So overall, the EV9 is 70% efficient compared to the Ioniq 6. So that's a big difference, and that is going to cost you. So the cost to fuel these vehicles is going to be significantly different, but the Ioniq 6 is a completely different class. That is not the giant family hauler that this is. This GT line has the added package where you have captain's chairs in the second row. So this is the 6-seater, but it can be had in a 7-seater. So this is just a big family vehicle made for transporting people around. The Ioniq 6, definitely better for a couple, maybe a couple with some younger kids. But once you start needing to haul around kids and their gear and all that stuff, the Ioniq 6 is just going to be too small with its relatively small trunk. But I will say, on that highway drive, both cars were a pleasure to drive. Highway drive assist between both vehicles works very well. They're both very quiet. Both rides are compliant, comfortable. I would love to take either of these on a road trip. So anyway, guys, stay tuned. Lots more coverage of both of these cars in the coming weeks and months. So make sure you hit that subscribe button. And if you like today's video, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already done so. Check out my store at ioniqguy.com for cool accessories for your Hyundai Kia Genesis EV. I now have cup holder enlargers for the back seats of the Kia EV9 if you're interested. Check those out. And as always, I will see you guys in the next one. Take care, everybody.